Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Whoa, a woman in New York is arrested for trying to go into her own home because there's squatters in her home that apparently have more right to her home than she does. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, squatters' rights. Is this just a stupid progressive law, or is it a worthwhile law? I'm suspicious that it's anything other than a stupid progressive law, because here in New York, I say that like I'm in New York, I'm definitely not Texas, but in New York, this woman who has owned a home that was passed down to her from her parents, apparently it's valued at $1 million, squatters went into her home legally? No. You don't have to enter anything legally anymore, apparently. This country, someone else's home. So squatters went into her home. They'd been living there, and she tries to kick them out. She can't. They come back. They call the cops on her. After she calls the cops on them, who gets arrested? She does. And they stay in her home. In a second, we'll watch the news clip that documented the whole thing as it was happening. It's actually pretty interesting. But first, in the Twitter comments on this video, one comment just portrays this rather masterfully, as you can see here. The typical woke, kind of progressive. I can't get the squatters out of my house that I own and pay utilities and upkeep for. Based dude, cross on his neck. You literally voted for this. Yeah, defund the police. Get the police out of here. Dude, crime's happening. Please come save me. There's no police. Why not? You literally voted for this. That kind of thing. It's, pointing out the irony of the situation. I do appreciate. Now, after we watch this video, we'll watch a short video of an illegal immigrant who seems to be in a rather aggressive mood, sending a video to his other illegal friends, telling them about squatters' rights, telling them how to invade people's homes, to take over their homes so they can live in their homes instead of the streets. Illegally live in someone's home because you're illegally in the country. And I call that illegally, but technically kind of legal. Here's a news clip portraying the woman in New York trying to get the squatters out of her home, and she gets arrested.
I have video of you, Brian.
Who are these people?
Figure out the situation.
Yeah, but they're in my house, man.
Relax.
No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple
So that guy who was a little belligerent is the squatter.
911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it,
No, he locked it.
but she's been locked out. She claims
Which, by the way, squatters' rights here in progressive New York. If you're not in the home for 30 days, apparently if someone enters it, they have the rights. Well, if she's selling the home, of course she's not going to be in it.
squatters moved in on February 6 and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time
Isn't that interesting how progressive laws are seemingly giving more and more rights to criminals and taking away more and more rights from law-abiding citizens? 1984.
That someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job will be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house?
By the way, can you imagine having your home stolen from you? Like, I've had a phone stolen from me, and that feels very violating, but it's just a phone. But I can't imagine having my house stolen from me.
Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her
I really appreciate her commitment to wearing earmuffs.
belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors.
Isn't that insane? In New York, someone has to, claim, I didn't enter my house illegally. The door was already open. God forbid I unlock my own door. That might be considered illegal entry onto my own property. in New York.
And looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And that's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today.
Please give the homeowner warning.
If this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him, I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed.
Dude, can you imagine, like, this guy, like, breaking into your home as though he has the right and living in a place that kind of gives him the right?
The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
And so did you.
Ma'am.
You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. You need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own the house. I don't own it.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October.
You have to have balls to know you're in the wrong, but to stand on a law that lets you be in the wrong, like, I would have to say you have to have no shame.
but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Probably the next law passed is like the squatters send the homeowners bills for the work they have done to the house, and the homeowners have to pay for it. Hey, we want to remodel your house. It's going to be 50 grand, so I'm going to need you to cover that. By the way, don't come here to drop the money off. You're not allowed in your house.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's wrong. We have degeneration happening when anyone can come into the country illegally, come into the house illegally. Cool, we'll get the homeowner thrown out, and yeah, we'll actually arrest the homeowner.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what was
current
told
and
already.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
And by all accounts, this guy, the squatter, doesn't seem to be a legit tenant. He appears to be a squatter who just went into the empty house and said, I'm going to live here now.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
Once again, you literally voted for this, or you voted for lawmakers who made these screwy laws. I don't know. Somehow it's our self-responsibility. I do think we ultimately have to say, yeah, it's my fault. And yeah, this is a fun way of portraying it. Now, next up, equally disturbing, if not a little more disturbing, take a journey over to Libs of TikTok. They just posted this. TikToker, I don't know, that TikToker might be more illegally-er. TikToker is advising illegals on how to take over Americans' homes via progressive squatters' rights laws, which we just saw portrayed in action. This TikToker boasts that his friends already took over 7 homes. Unreal. Now, I'll play this video for you. You'll see the English translation subtitles on the bottom of the screen. Pay attention to the tonality of this person.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
Found a law that says if a house is uninhabited,
Muchachos,
you can seize it.
aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese
Land
será
invasion.
mi
Ooh.
próximo negocio. Invadir casas
My
abandonadas.
next business,
Ya
invading
que me he
abandoned
buscado unos
houses.
códigos con mis amigos
Ooh.
africanos. Y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice
The guy was suggesting, yeah, living on the streets means you're a burden to the public, but taking people's homes, that's not a way of being a burden to the public. It's maybe more of a burden.
las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas
Get the
y si
homes,
podemos venderlas.
repair
Hasta
it.
pedir
You can even ask
créditos
to
con
sell
ellas.
it.
¿Qué dicen ustedes?
Come invade our country. Some people are still sticking their head in the sand, be like, yeah, it's, kind of humanitarian. We gotta, yeah, come invade our country. That's fine. This is shocking. What happens in New York? A lady is arrested for trying to be in her own home where someone who is there by all principles wrongly, he has the rights to her house over her. Then we see an illegal immigrant broadcasting to his friends, come to America, I just found a new law where we can invade people's houses, live in them, and even sell their houses. Okay, I think it's time to be Americans, be principled, and realize having secure borders of our country, our homes, even our bodies, that's a strong immune system, is probably more important than ever. Thank you for watching this video with me, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. I'll look forward to seeing you on our next one. But first, here's a special message brought to you by Sheath Underwear. When it comes to underwear, are you sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight? Well, if so, Sheath Underwear are for you. By the way, that was a bullseye. Sheath underwear are the most comfortable, best fitting underwear you'll ever put on your body. I'm wearing a pair of Sheath right now, and that's all I'm wearing. Sheath are made out of stretchy fabric with moisture wicking technology that keeps everything cool, comfortable, and in the right place. That makes Sheath especially helpful while you're working out. But if you have bladder control issues, Sheath ain't gonna help you with that. But they'll look good on you anyway. And taking the wisdom of kangaroos, Sheath also has dual pouch options to help keep your man parts separated and comfortable. When it comes to underwear, if you don't want to look and feel like a slob anymore, then go to sheathunderwear.com/JPReacts and get the most comfortable underwear you'll ever put on your body. And use promo code JPReacts to get 20% off your order. Enjoy.